Hi guys, it's Angie. I wanted to talk a bit about Abzu, the new game by Giant Squid Studio, which was founded by the art director of games like Journey or Flower. It's a new game that I think was a bit overshadowed because it had a premiere the same month as No Man's Sky. So while No Man's Sky was talked about everywhere, Abzu just came and went. So, because I want to give this game a bit of spotlight as well. First thing, a bit of history or maybe some little facts about the game. The title Abzu, which according to the official website came from two words, which is Ab, meaning ocean, and Zu, meaning wisdom. So it's supposed to mean ocean of wisdom. I'm not sure where the creators of the game took those words, from what language, but I think they took an inspiration from Sumerian mythology. Abzu was prehistoric ocean and a name of a god. As for a game itself, I'm a bit conflicted about it because although I have to say usually I am very sensitive to the aesthetics of the game, to the way it looks, so you could say that for me eye candies are more important than better gameplay. But the atmosphere and the graphics is not everything. Because if you want great atmosphere and graphics, you can as well make a movie or something. The game took me about an hour and a half to finish, and although I tried to discover as much stuff as I could and to go to every little cavern I saw, the game is very relaxing and very pleasant to the eye. Also, it's nice to be able to know and recognize some of the fish, because every time you meditate you have this little zoom on the fish that are in your nearest vicinity. The game, I wouldn't say it has like a solid story, but there are hints of something you discover by interacting with creatures, with machines within the game. But I still feel it could have been done better, like the relationship between your character and, let's say, one thing, because I don't want to say what it is. I think it could be developed a bit better, because as you probably know, there later in the game some stuff happens, but it didn't have the emotional impact on me because I didn't felt any connection with this thing. I also think that the creators decided not to trust the player's intelligence too much. There were instances when I was clearly guided by the hand, even though it wasn't necessary in my opinion in that situation. There was one moment when I was supposed to push two buttons in a small space, well, relatively small space. The first button was just in front of the entrance, but I decided to swim around and to just explore a bit. I found the second button, so I pressed it. Then I came back to the first one, I pressed it as well. And then I had an animation that showed me where's the second button to push, although I already have done it. So I suppose the game didn't expect me to explore. It's just it thought that I would just press the first button, so it would have to show me the second button, so I would know that I have to swim there and do it. I didn't like it. I prefer that the game lets you discover things by yourself. It also creates a sense of accomplishment, I think. The game also felt, I think, a bit repetitive because it's created in, let's say, separate stages. Like, you go to the first location, and by the end of that location, you have, let's say, thing to do. And you repeat this scheme over and over, at least, I think, 5 times. I know from what I say about this game, it sounds a bit bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think this game is bad. I think it's very pleasing visually. I think it has a great style. It's very soothing and very colorful. But I think it could have been done better. And I just can't stop comparing it to Journey, and it's very hard for me because I consider Journey to be one of the best games with great pacing and amazing story that you have to discover yourself. You can clearly say that the game was created by someone who was very deeply connected to Journey and Flower, because there are some small things in the mechanic and within the gameplay that very much reminds me of Journey. I think they also tried to create the pacing pretty similar, but unfortunately, in my opinion, they failed. I think the creators of this game wanted it to be like Journey, wanted to create this epic adventure, epic story that is just visually stunning, but it's hard to live up to a legend. And I still can't stop comparing those two titles to each other, mostly because the creators came from the studio that gave us Journey. The other very good comparison, or maybe not so very good, but another comparison that comes to my mind is Subnautica, the game which I'm also currently playing, which is a survival crafting game also in the ocean. But if you are comparing this game to each other, then you are making a big mistake, because these are completely two different things. While Subnautica heavily relies on gameplay and interacting with the world, Abzu encourages you to just sit and watch. The best example is the meditating part, when you just sit, when your character just sits on a rock or a statue, and you can look at fish living their lives. I had a pleasure of meeting sharks, whales, giant squids, and I even could rode all of those. This was pretty amazing. Another thing I have to add about this game: don't play it without a controller. It's confusing, it's annoying, and it just distracts you from the gameplay, which can be pretty good if you have a controller. I would highly recommend it to the people who haven't played Journey. I think they'll take far more pleasure from it than I did. I'm not saying I didn't, but it would be an amazing experience for them. And then I would suggest playing Journey, because it's just the best. So overall, Abzu is fantastic to just chill and relax and learn stuff about fish. But if you want an exciting gameplay and a deep story, I don't think this is a game for you. I suggest Journey. Go play Journey. It's better. And what about you guys? Have you played Abzu? Have you found anything interesting? Did you like it or not? Have you found any interesting fish? Maybe some deep sea creatures? Anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye! Ah! What? What the shit? Oh, what?